We are winding down this week's edition of Sun Devil Extra from the Mountain America Credit Union Sun Devil Radio Network. I'm Tim Healey, the radio play-by-play voice of the Sun Devils, and we thank you for joining us this week. As we wrap up our discussion of Arizona State's NIL initiatives for its student athletes, what better way to punctuate the conversation than to visit with a young man who has benefited himself from name, image, and likeness opportunities at Arizona State, and now he wants to help a lot of his fellow student athletes do likewise. How so? Well, he has donated $10,000 in money he himself earned through NIL deals to the Sun Angel Collective and is hoping to get others, namely Sun Devil fans and local businesses, to do the same and join in the initiative. We are delighted to have Arizona State football quarterback Trenton Bourguet join us here on the show. Good to see you, bud. How you been?
Good to see you too. It's been pretty good. You know, had this off season, no surgeries this off season, so it's been nice to
that's a good thing, right?
To relax and be with family and go to some ASU sporting events. But it's been good.
We'll talk a little football in a moment, but first, talk about this thought process that led you to make this amazing, generous $10,000 donation to the Sun Angel Collective.
Yeah, you know, I've been very fortunate and blessed to be able to receive some money through the NIL Collective, and for me it was really, this is my last year at Arizona State, and trying to just help out any way I can of helping this team and the program, really all the sports, the athletes at ASU, and I thought there was no better way than putting in my own money. People are talking about raising awareness, but I thought if I can also talk the talk but walk the walk as well, just trying to raise awareness.
Well done, my friend. And at the same time that Trenton donated the $10,000, he also used his initials and uniform number to create the TB16 Challenge. Whom are you challenging and what do you hope to accomplish through it?
Yeah, really like how we were talking about earlier, any amount of money, whether it's $1, $10, $100, the more people we can get in, the more money we're going to raise, not only, for these athletes, but for the community, and the more people that, can see this challenge and be aware of it, whether it's a past alumni, certain athletes in the past or current athletes. I'm just trying to raise awareness and get as much money at ASU as we can.
I understand you're trying to get 10 businesses to match your donation,
yes,
and
sir.
Then 1,600 individuals to invest whatever they can.
Yes,
What's
sir.
the response been like so far?
Yeah, I've had a couple people DM me through Twitter and on Instagram, and I've heard from the the collective that the numbers have been increasing. But I've had a lot of people message me and saying they were already a partner, but they're even willing to donate more now just to see the passion we have for this team and just this university. And I really think this is an empire waiting to be built. Without all the sport programs and all the great coaches we have. So super excited to see what we have in the future.
I think we just got a phrase to latch on, folks. Empire waiting to be built. I'm liking that very much. Tell us about some of the NIL opportunities that you have had in your experience with the program.
Yeah, it's been great. Growing up in a small town, I'm used to being those kids that, would be looking up to, meet some great athletes. And I've been fortunate enough here to be surrounded by some great athletes and just using our platform, kind of like we said, of, being able to, take kids out to, get a signing, an autograph signing with Cam Scatabo and Elijah Badger and Jalen Conyers and, some guys that really did a great job, using their platform. And just, we're very blessed to be in this position, and, it's going to go by like that, but trying to, get as many Sun Devil fans to appreciate us. So.
Speaking of Jalen Conyers and Elijah Badger, tell the story about how you were able to help them get some pretty sweet rides, I understand.
Yeah. So last year I was able to meet, Parker Jones at a basketball game and talking to him about, obviously, maybe getting a car or a truck or something like that. And I was fortunate enough to get a car, from graduating last year from my parents. But I thought, Jalen Conyers and Elijah Badger and another player at the time, they were, in need of a car. And thinking, there's no better way to get these guys to stay at ASU and feel appreciated than, use my connections with Parker Jones. And he was able to step up and get these guys, in two Mustangs at the time. And
wow.
They were blessed. This last year, Elijah Badger is still driving his around. I saw him this morning in the red one. And obviously, Jalen Conyers isn't here anymore. But just trying to use my platform, like I say, being the quarterback, making sure I help out the guys around me, and whether it wasn't with cars or taking my lineman out to Texas Roadhouse and the defensive lineman to NATO Grill and Wings, and Burrito Express has done a great job of not only helping the football players, but I think they have some softball players as well. So it's been awesome to see these local businesses step up to help us out.
And it's a family-wide deal with the Bourguets. It's not just Trenton. His brother Coben is a football player at Arizona State, a wide receiver, and your sister Rylan plays beach volleyball here at ASU,
Yes,
and I'm sure they've had their opportunities as well.
Yeah, in the past, Rylan has taken out her team to Burrito Express to take them all there, and it's literally it's walking distance from the stadium here. So it's been super cool to just see all the people that have, really bought into, helping us out, and, we're trying to use our platform to help their businesses as well.
Now, of course, NIL is going to play a vital role as ASU gets ready to transition into the Big 12 Conference next year. I know from a competitive standpoint, you're probably looking forward to the new challenges and opportunities, but talk about that and also the NIL context of moving into the Big 12 now.
Yeah, I think the Big 12 is a great conference that we're excited to be a part of, but we know that it's going to take just more people to be involved, and there's some great programs out there that are raising a lot of money, but we think we can do a great job of doing our job on the field, on the court, and it's going to take like we said, the Valley to all be activated and to help us out.
Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk a little bit of football now with Trenton Bourguet. And looking back at this past season, on one hand, certainly it was a difficult, challenging season for everybody. You in particular, you had some injuries that you had to deal with during the course of the year. And yet it was a season that to me had a little overtone of hope to it, hope for the future, hope generated mainly by your head coach, Kenny Dillingham. How do you look back at 2023?
Yeah, this season obviously wasn't the season we, planned for. Obviously we had, the whole being banned from the bowl game if we were able to make one, and we had a couple players that were denied their, eligibility to play. But I thought this team fought all the way till the end. It didn't matter whether we were down at halftime or up at halftime. Obviously we had a lot of key injuries that definitely, made it difficult. But I was proud of the way, we responded there. We definitely could have tapped out, easily in the middle of the season, but we fought hard. To see us, lose by one possession to Washington, that's, in the Final Four. I think that shows us great hope in knowing that, we're right there competing against one of the top 4 teams in the nation with the Heisman candidate. So I'm super excited. I'm excited to see where Coach Dillingham, I think the direction we're heading is a great direction, and I just can't wait to see what happens in the future.
And the really cool part about it, you're going to be back for one more go-around next year. Talk about that.
Yeah, I have one more year left. Arizona, I was born and raised in Arizona. I've been very fortunate to, be a Sun Devil. Obviously I'm from Tucson, but I made so many great memories and created so many relationships that for me, there was no better place to spend my last year. I'm going to put in as much work as I can and help any way I can with this team. And, obviously I want to coach. I want to stay in Arizona. Work under Coach Dillingham would be, the best job I could have. But, this last year I'm super excited to spend it here with these guys and to make this year memorable.
And I think I can tell you what one of his all-time best memories is, because you are looking at the last quarterback to have defeated the Washington Huskies. Here we are. It's been like 14 months since October 8th, 2022, and Washington still has not lost a football game since that afternoon when Mr. Trenton Bourguet came off the bench and engineered a 45-38 upset victory for the Sun Devils over the Washington Huskies. Think back on that day, and are you as amazed as I am that they have not lost? I mean, they're a great football team, but they have not lost a game since, as they get ready to enter into the college football playoff this year and play for a national title.
Yeah, it's crazy. It feels like it was just the other day that happened. I'll never forget that day. That was one of the best days of my life. But yeah, they're a great team, and I think that just shows us that we're very capable of being a team like that. We beat them last year. We almost had them this year, but to show that they have, I think they won 20 straight games in a row. They're a great team, and I kind of think they have a great team culture, and I think that's what we're building here at Arizona State.
Boy, but he taught lessons to everybody. Be ready when your moment comes, because you hadn't played a whole lot in your career up till then. Emory Jones goes down with a second quarter injury that afternoon, and you came in, and I think you scored a touchdown like within 2 plays after you came onto the field, and just played the game of your life and looked like you'd been doing it all along. Talk about how you were able to be ready for your moment when the moment arrived.
Yeah, coming here as a freshman, a walk-on, and being the 5th string, and I was told, on my visit, I'm never going to see the field, so don't ever complain. And, I just trusted God's plan, and just, I prepared each and every week, each and every year like I was the starter, being behind Jaden Daniels for 3 years, and, they brought in some transfers to try to take over the reins. But, I just made sure to, trust God's plan and to continue to prepare and, not overlook any week. And I just remember that week. I remember that pregame. I just had a weird sense of feeling, and it stinks to see, somebody go down. Luckily Emory wasn't too bad, but just making sure to do whatever I can to help the team win. And it was a day, like I said, I'll always remember.
And a lot of us will as well. That was a great afternoon for you, and certainly a tremendous performance. Before I let you go, how about your ex-teammate Jaden Daniels? Heisman Trophy winner in 2023. What do you think of that?
Yeah, I texted him yesterday, and I was texting him this morning, and just super awesome to see a kid that is it's crazy. I felt like we were just here the last couple years,
Yeah.
and we would talk about watching those big SEC teams and the Heisman Trophy winners in the past, and just talking football with him, and he put in a lot of work, and it's been awesome to see all that hard work paid off, and he had a great year, and I'm super excited to see what he has in the future.
All right, fans, roll up your sleeves and get involved in Arizona State's NIL endeavors and take part in the TB16 Challenge. Help contribute like Trenton Bourguet did. He put up $10,000 of his own money and put up whatever you can and help Arizona State thrive in the NIL world as ASU heads off to the Big 12. Happy holidays, bud. Good to see you. All the best to your family, and we're looking forward to seeing you again next year here.
Sounds good. Thank you.
That's Sun Devil quarterback Trenton Bourguet, our guest on this final segment of this week's edition of Sun Devil Extra. As we bring down the curtain on today's show, a few thank yous we want to pass out before we leave, thanking Arizona State our executive producer, ASU Senior Associate Athletic Director Doug Tamaro. Thanks to our technical guru, Sean Crespin of the Sun Devil Radio Network for his help. And thanks to our show scheduler, Kim Nelson from Sun Devil Athletics as well. We'll be back next week with another edition of Sun Devil Extra, and we hope that you'll make plans to join us. Till then, I'm Tim Healey saying so long, everybody.